right, you have your book handy. Let's just start with those shoulder rolls, elbows, adding in, round the shoulders, open the chest. You can do a little side to side if you want. Let's add one arm at a time and give it a little backstroke. And then equal time, little forward motion. And then we like to end on backstroke because who needs to roll those shoulders in internally? Good. Then we're going to widen our stance, sit down. We're going to roll through cats and cows a couple times, warming up that spine. Good. Let's drop that right shoulder in, look over your left, roll and extend, other way. Left shoulder drops in, roll and extend. Good. Abs in, deep breath in. Beautiful. We're going to use that step, that block to help us warm up. So just step up on it with your right leg, little jolly movement, little pump of the arms. See you later. Two more. Last one. Step to the back and over. This time we're going to be stepping up with that left leg. Two more. Beautiful. Come to the back. You may turn your book sideways or you might leave it like this depending on the size of your book. Come up with the left, up with the right, down, down, up with the right, up with the left, down, down, and then we speed that up. Running out of room on my book with my giant feet. If your book is small and your feet are large, take a look down every once in a while and make sure, I didn't alternate yet, did I? Sorry. All right, if you were alternating, you're good. If you weren't alternating, switch to the other foot leading. All right, now we truly are going to alternate up, left, up, right, down, right, right, up, left, up. You can even, if you want, you might not have space, but you can do a little rotation with that body if you want. If that feels very dangerous, don't do it. Yeah, it was dangerous for me. And then we're just going to switch it to a tap lift, a little less dangerous. And then you're going to tap lift and start to angle. So you're not quite to the back, but you're not completely to the side. And then we're going to change it one more time. Instead of a tap lift, it's a knee up. And then as soon as we all get that, I'm going to change it again to a hamstring curl. So you're alternating feet, slightly alternating the back corner. This time, we're going to stay on that right foot, hamstring curl. And then we're going to do 4 quick ones. So we stay up, we go 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, 4 regular ones. Oops. And then 4 of those quick ones. So what that means is that one leg stays up. Back to the first side, just up and down, just tap. Let's go to that knee lift. 3 more. 2. Last one, right foot stays up, lift, 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 and lift. Go to the other side, knee lift this side. And this is where we stay up and go. Beautiful, other side, step up, give me a beautiful extension. 4 times. Last one of these, and then we step up and we lift 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side, 4 regular speed. And then 4 quickies. Beautiful. All right, back to that first side. Step up, hamstring curl for 4. 4 quick ones. Stay on this side, tap up for a moment. Add that knee lift for 4. And this time that right foot stays up and we go. Tap up 1 time, get ready for your extensions, 4 extensions. And then 4 quick ones. Beautiful, other side, just a tap up. And then tap up and hamstring. 3 more. And then the quick ones. And then a tap up. Come on, Nutmeg. And a knee up. 4, 3, regular speed. 2. Last one, then we double time it, knee lifts. Beautiful, step down. Add those 4 extensions, regular speed. And here we go, the quick ones. Woo, beautiful. Hopefully we are warmed up. We're just gonna move. Yeah, you don't need to move the book. We're gonna move. We're gonna walk those feet out again, hands down. Roll through your cat and cow, get a little bit of movement through that spine and that body. And then widen those legs, drop in, alternating. Beautiful. So your feet are going to be on the block. If it's too narrow for your feet to be this way, go sideways. We're going to go into a push-up. So you're going to walk it out, hands right below your shoulders. They don't have to be super close, but I don't want them super wide either. And push-ups. Regular push-ups, but hands are a little more narrow. And then rock off that block, rock it back. Oh, hang over for a moment. One arm bends, opposite arm lifts. And then go the other way. And then hands on your thighs, round through your cat. Inhale through your cow, one more time, cat and cow. Woo, big deep breath in. All right. Chair is handy if you choose to use it for balance. You might not need to on this first round. Right foot is up on the block. We bend it and we tap those left toes forward. Tap. Just bend and tap. But make sure you're not simply walking that left foot forward, right? You bend that right knee to get there. Good. And then we do the same thing to the side. Your hands can be heart-centered, hips. You could do some arm movement if you want. If you're holding on to the chair, obviously not that. And then we swing that leg, we're going to be heading to the back, reach back with that leg. As always, if you make a long lever with that arm, either one or both, you'll get more work here. That feels like too much, maybe go halfway. Make sure you're bending and straightening that right leg, right quad, right glute, getting to work here. Last two. Beautiful. Last one, staying up on that with your right leg. We're gonna do that little heel tap. So I bend the right knee just enough to tap the left heel, straighten, bend and straighten. So you're not actually pushing off with that left leg, right? It just taps. Last two and last one. Right leg over the left, a little bit of separation. Arms spin up and over to your left. Push that right hip over. Open to the back a little bit. Come forward a little bit. Get a different angle. And then bend those knees. Keep reaching forward and then hands come down. From there, round through your cat. And inhale through your cow. And cat. And cow. Lift that arm up, come on back through center. We get to do all those things on the other side. Move your chair if you think you might need it, just occasionally. So we're up with that left leg, abs in. We bend the left knee enough to tap the right toes. Good, same thing to the side. Again, you feel free to have your arms wherever, doing whatever. Beautiful, and then we're gonna reach to the back, stretch it back. Again, opposite arm, same arm, both arms are gonna add that extra resistance, creating that longer lever. Two more. Nice, and then we'll stand up on that book, flex through those right heels and toes, and we just lift, bending and straightening that left leg to get here. Almost there. Bring it down. Left leg over right, arms spin. We reach, we're gonna reach a little to the back and a little forward. Bend those knees, come on down. Rolling through your cat and your cow. And then lift it up and come on back. All right, calf work. You probably will want your chair for this. So you're gonna put your, let's put our left foot up, toes, follow the foot, and probably half the arch are on the book. Just your heel and a little part of the arch are off, and then your other foot is hanging in space. So you lower your heel, lower than the book, get a big stretch, come through center, lower it, center, lower it, center, lower it, and center. Welcome back. Good. And then come to center with your foot and lift higher, center, higher, center, higher, center. Woo, starting to get some love in that calf. And now we're gonna go all the way down, come through center, go all the way up, try and go an extra quarter of an inch. So we go down, center, up and up, down, center, up and up, down, center, up and up. Down, center, up and up. One more time, down, center, up and we hold. Reach through that spine, grow tall, lift as high as you can. Ooh. All right, slide that foot back so just your toes are on the book. This is gonna be, if you have, depending on if it's a sharp book, it could be a little uncomfortable at first, but we won't keep it long, right? So toes are getting pressed up against there. And then walk the other foot forward just a little bit and then bend your knee the tiniest bit. Should bring a stretch into the bottom of your foot. And then we get to do the nice one. So the nice one is the ball of the foot goes back up. So not just the toes. And then we drop that heel. Other foot walks forward a little bit. So my heel is pressing down, getting a really nice calf stretch. I'm going to bend that knee a little bit and deepen my stretch. Then I'm going to roll up, turn those toes out, heel in, and drop. And bend. And roll it up, and let's turn those toes in, heel out, and drop. And bend. All right, other side, we get to work first. So we're going to bring that right foot, I think, up on the book. We drop the heel down and come to center. Drop it and come to center. And then we go through center all the way up, back through center and up, back through center and up, center and up, center and up again, center up, center up. Last two. Good, and now we go all the way down through center, all the way up, all the way down through center, all the way up. And we're trying to go that extra inch at the top. I think you guys know that. Last time, all the way up, hold, and relax. All right, now we're gonna try and do that awkward one a little bit first. So toes kind of just pressed by the book. So my toes are up like that. And then I'll take a slight step forward and bend that knee just to get a little stretch underneath the foot. And then we'll get the lovely stretch by coming up a little bit more, but enough that the heel can drop, but the other foot needs to walk forward. So you get that calf stretch. And then bend that knee, and that should come deeper in that calf, down that Achilles. And then we'll roll up, turn the toes out, drop the heel with that rolled out angle. Bend that knee a little bit. And then come on back through center, toes in, heel out, and we drop. And in. Beautiful. As you come up, we're going to get a little bit of a stretch for the front. So we're going to just take those left toes, tuck them back behind you. We're going to increase this stretch in just a second. But just feel a stretch at the front. Same thing, right foot, tuck it back. And this time you're going to take your left foot over the right, and it's not this, you really want it behind you. And again, you tuck those toes, and then you bend the right knee and press into the back of that left calf. And you should intensify that stretch on the front of the left leg. Then we'll cross the right leg over. And again, it's not way out here, it's here, still pointed forward, toes tuck under. Bend that left knee into the right calf to deepen the stretch. All right, beautiful. We are coming up. Spin your chair around toward the front and put your book in that chair for me, please. You're going to come into a wide stance. Go ahead and sit down on your book. Turn your toes out, find kind of a plie position, but seated. And then all we're going to do to start with is push into as if you're going to come up and see if you have to tip forward or not. If you don't, then you're good. If you do, you might need a slightly higher lift. Otherwise, come up as best you can. I know I have to tip forward, so I'm probably not going to tap my book, but you guys can. As you come down, make sure your knees are going out over those toes, not collapsing in. Adding on, if you want more calf work, you can come up on those toes. That'll also add a little bit more quad work. And again, hands can be apart. You could add port bras arms. Keep it going for me, please. I'm just looking down and making sure I've got equal distance between my feet and the chair, as symmetrical as possible. Two more. Good. This time sit down. Put your heels back down. Open your knees a little wider. Open them wider, 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 wider. 3, 4, 7, 22, 38, and relax. All right. Let's go ahead. You're going to bring that book. You're going to try to bring that book between your thighs. Again, we talk about sometimes your tights might be slippery, or the book might be slippery. You're going to do your best to hold that book there. So we're going to work some inner thighs up on those tippy toes. You're going to bend those knees to come down and slide down an imaginary wall. My book isn't all super thick, so I'm going to keep my feet touching. You just want to keep your feet close together. Bend and straighten, heels are lifted, working those quads. You feel free to go down as low as works for you and your body. This one, we're going to stay down. We're going to keep those knees bent. We're going to squeeze the book, squeeze the book, squeeze the book, squeeze the book, squeeze, 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 squeeze. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, and 1. Squeeze and relax. All right, we are not done with the book nor with the chair, but we're going to come on down to the ground. So go ahead and spin your chair so the seat is facing you. And bring your book with you. And we're going to be on our knees. So if you need some extra padding, feel free to grab an extra or to fold your mat under. Grab your cat's mat. Nutmeg, I have your mat. All right. You're going to bring that book behind your right side. And you're going to try to bring your heel as close to your hip as you can, so that you're securing that book as best you can. Again, depends on how slippery your tight is, apparently quite today for me. Anyway, and then your elbows go in that chair. And then you're going to do your best to slide that chair out so that your spine is long. All right, so once you've got that all set up, then you're going to try and lift that right leg straight up. Flex through the heel and lift, and lift, and lift, and lift. Your arms can be in the chair. That just didn't working for me. If this is better for you, feel free. Once next time that leg lifts, I want you to squeeze the book, squeeze the book, squeeze the book, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Now we put those things together, lift and squeeze, 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 lift, squeeze, hold, lift, squeeze, hold, lift, and squeeze both at the same time. And relax. We'll stretch that out in just a second. Let's just get the other side done. So you're going to bring that left heel close to your booty, square up your body, flex through that heel, and lift. And then we're going to leave it at the top and squeeze, 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 squeeze. Keep going. Almost there. And then we put those two things together, squeeze it and lift it, squeeze it and lift it, squeeze it and lift it, squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. Keep going. And then relax. Yeesh. Okay. All right. We're going to sit on that book for just a second. Get a little quick hamstring love. Bend your left knee, extend that right leg, but don't straighten it. Pull your glutes out from under you. And then slide forward on your book till you get a little tip, and then see about what you want to do with that right leg. You can sit tall and hinge. You can drop that left leg out to the side. You could straighten that leg and see how far you can hinge, but we're trying to avoid rounding as always. And then we'll sit up, right knee is going to bend. Again, we kind of scoot toward the front of that book so it tips up a little bit. And then that might be enough. Or you can hinge, totally up to you. You find what works for you. All right, one more little round for the glutes. You're gonna have your book and we're gonna do actually two. One will be more low back. Knees are bent and feet are in the chair, just the heels. And then you're gonna put that book right up against your thighs and your hips. It's gonna end up flipping down, but for now it can be there. Press into the heels to lift your hips into a bridge and then put that book on those hips. So you're up high, try to go to that place. See, I still have a little crook here and you might too, but can you come to an almost straight line from your knees through your hips to your shoulders? Come down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. And again, the weight of that book should be adding some extra special love. Try and do it as evenly as possible with your hips. And relax. Woo! All right. And we're gonna do one more thing, sorry. This time slide the chair away so that your legs are nice and straight, and let's not use the book on this one. Press your hands, but do try and be equal, symmetrical. Press your hands to your side and lift yourself up, and again, find that straight line. So now this is some glute and some hamstring, but it should be more low back extension. And all you're gonna do is bend your right knee and see if you need to keep your toes there or a toe, or can you just use your left leg to push into the chair to lift higher. Push to lift, push to lift, push to lift, push to lift, push to lift. 4 more, 3, 2, and 1. Right heel in the chair, lift yourself up in that bridge, and you don't even have to lift the left leg, but you can see how much could you do, and use the back of the right leg or the heel to press down to push up, press down to push up, and relax. Woo! Take that right ankle, cross it over your left thigh, passive stretch here for a moment. And then right leg up in the chair, left ankle crosses, nice passive stretch here. And then as you come back, you're gonna roll over onto one side and we'll grab that book again. Knees are stacked, hips are stacked, arm is resting underneath your ear, and book is right on top. Waistline is lifted, toes are flexed for now, and we'll just lift that top leg as a unit, trying to lift the calf, keeping it parallel with the ground. And then we'll spin into that froggy position for clam. And then keep that, but lift the heels in the air and pivot open from there. Beautiful, relax. Bend that top knee for me, bring it out in front of you, and just give it a little bit of love. Then straighten that bottom leg while you're right there, bring it out in front of you, and then press yourself up. And the leg you just worked should be across you. So now all you're gonna do is sit up on the chair so we can intensify this stretch a little bit. We're gonna bring that in, and then most of us have a tendency to rock off of that hip we just worked. So pull your knee across and then push on down onto that same sit bone. So pulling but pushing, and then both at the same time. And then we'll cross the ankle at the thigh, and that should really help you get a big stretch there. And while your foot is there, just go ahead and give it a massage. Maybe put your fingers between your toes, get some movement through those little tootsies. Flex and bend and point and stretch. Add some resistance to push against or to curl against. Massage that arch, flex through that heel, whatever feels good. All right, and then finally you can either hinge a little bit or you can bend that bottom knee to stay tall to intensify that stretch. And then you're gonna uncross that knee and tuck it under to put yourself on the other side, right? Hopefully. All right, so knees stack up once again, ankles, everything in a nice straight line, and then we lift that top leg as a unit, waistline is lifted. And then heels together, pivot open, froggy toes, toes apart or turn out. It's a lot nicer sounding than froggy, huh? And then knees are going to stay down, heels up as we pivot open. And relax. And then bend that top knee a little more, straighten that bottom leg. And then as you're ready, press yourself up and you end up ready to stretch that leg. If it helped last time to be up on that block or book, go ahead and do that. And then again, as you pull the knee across, try to keep weight in that sit bone. So this comes across, but this stays down. And then cross at your ankle over your thigh, and this is where we get to give our feet some love. Massage, roll through the arch. Beautiful. And then finally, you can either hinge if you want, if you need a little more, or you could bend. And then we'll uncross. And let's just stay on that same side for now and put the book at the bottom of your mat for our side plank. Feet go on that book, and then elbow underneath, shoulder back, lift up out of it, ears away from shoulders, and lift up in your side plank. But keep in mind, this hip has to go a little higher than you expect, right? Don't rotate. Try and keep that chest open and those hips forward. Those are the little hinges that seem to want to happen. So do your best, hip a little higher, hip a little forward, chest a little more open. And then gently come down. Let's go ahead and just side plank on the other side, then we'll come over on our abs. So again, you can have your top leg in front or stacked up, but your shoulders right under your ear, elbow under your shoulder, but then we create space between the ear and shoulder, lift up out of it. When you're ready, press it up. And again, lift that hip a little extra, open the chest. Instead of collapsing, think about opening to the back of the room, hips swing a little forward and they lift. A little forward and lift, open the chest. And then gently down. And now we will roll over onto our abs. We're going to bring that book out in front of us, preferably off of your mat, if you can. And when we're on our abs, we want those toes stretched out, those kneecaps lifted, squeezing those glutes, and then arms on top of, or hands on top of the book. Forehead in line with those arms, deep breath in. Exhale, press down on the book to lift up the tiniest bit. And then hopefully you'll be able to just squeeze the shoulder blades together to drag the book so it didn't pop up. I'm just using my shoulder blades. So we're gonna pull back. We're gonna inhale to prepare. We're gonna exhale, pull back, inhale, hold at the top, and exhale down. Press down, pull back, hold, kneecaps still lifted. Couple more. On this last one, you're just gonna hold up. Let's see if you can travel your arms off the book and bring them behind you, stretch and reach, extend and relax for a second. All right, we're gonna take that book. We're gonna do a little quad stretch here. So we're gonna bring that book, it's gonna be parallel and your left thigh is gonna be on top of it. So my book is parallel with my leg, long side. And then you can go ahead and grab your left ankle. But then you're gonna roll so both hips are pointing down. And instead of resting on my right hip, I want to even it. So my right hip is floating in the air, left hip is up. And then the last thing, you probably have a little hinge in your hips. So I want you to push that hip down to the ground. And that should be a pretty intense stretch on the front of the quad. You can also use it to open your upper back a little bit, your shoulder. Don't come up too high or you're going to lose the stretch. But you can let that shoulder get some love. Relax, leave the book where it is, or leave the book under your left leg, move it out to the side, quick little half frog here. So just resting on your right ear, left knee is bent, left arm is bent, passive little spinal extension here. And then listen up, this is going to be funky. Slide your right arm under your left, and then open your left arm, and you're in a big twist. Now that book might still be underneath your knee, or you might have rolled off of it, doesn't matter. All you're gonna do is roll over onto your back, put your left foot down, and then come on up. And we're going to do that same stretch on the right side. So your book is parallel, right? Your thigh is lying across that book. It's kind of mid-thigh, right? Not too close to the hip, not too close to the knee. And then you can go ahead and grab that ankle and then square your hips, right? So get that left hip in the air and then take that hip and push down. So you're tucking your hips under, getting that bigger quad stretch. And then just spin that so the book comes out to the side. And you go into a half frog on this side. Right elbow bends, right knee bends, resting on that left ear. And then the last thing we'll do from there is slide that left arm under the right and let the right arm spin open, big twist. Uncross, roll onto your back. Now, you probably need to shimmy your way back onto your mat. I did. So we're back on our mat. We're going to hug those knees in for a quick little low back stretch after that extension. And then we're going to grab that book, bring it in our arms. Palms can just rest underneath the book, or you can hold it. Deep breath in. Exhale to lift. Inhale, reach that book over your head, arms by your ears. Exhale back to center and down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale back down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale back and down. Keep going. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale back and down. Last time. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Add the knees in tabletop and extend the legs. And then everything together. And we reach. Tap and reach. Tap and reach. If your neck is bothering you, it can be on the ground, right? We're getting that work from the levers of the arms and the legs. 2 more. Good. And then we'll hold it, reaching, reaching, reaching. Then we're going to bend the knees. I'm going to take that book wherever we can secure it. It might be knees, it might be calves, abs in, toe touch exercise, nice and slow with control. Your range of motion could be a little smaller because your book is heavier and creates more resistance as your legs move away. It's going to make your ribs want to pop up, but you stay in control. Last one, hold it at your most challenging position. Come in an inch, in an inch, in an inch, in 3, 2, 1. Woo! And the book goes on the fronts of your shins. And you get a nice rock side to side. All right. Let's go ahead. We're gonna leave that book where it is and see if we can roll up, rolling like a ball. You only have to do it a couple times till you come up seated position. Knees together, shoulders back and down, hinge back in your roll down position with that book up, lower it down and come up. Deep breath in, exhale, hinge, inhale, lift, exhale, back up. A couple more. Beautiful. Last time, hinge it back, lift it up, hold, hold, hold. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently come on down. Bring that book behind your left leg for me, please. Right leg off to the side. Hug that knee in so you get that rib to thigh movement. Move it a little to the side, back and forth a couple times. Good. And then the knee stays in that left shoulder. You're gonna flip that book. We're gonna flex through that heel. So we're pushing down with the thigh, pressing up with the heel. If you want to make it even more challenging, you put that book across your toes. Woo! You get a little extra love here. And then you're going to straighten that leg. You can move that book for now. You can put it over to the opposite side. Maybe get some movement through that foot at this point. Pull back on that big toe if that would feel good. And then come to center. We're going to extend that leg up. Bend your elbow. Walk your way up to the ankle. Flex through the foot. Grab that big toe again with your opposite hand. Hold here, deeper stretch. Come down with that, big deep stretch. Straighten your right leg and lower your left leg at the same time and see if hopefully that left leg feels a little more open. Then you'll just cross it over the right thigh, let it pivot open. So we did this stretch before seated, so we're just going to take a quick little thread the needle here and see if you feel the difference in the two ways to do it. You can feel free to rock a little bit, pull in and out. Obviously, when you pull that knee closer, it deepens the stretch. And then right leg extends, and we'll get some movement through that ankle. And then we'll tuck that right knee underneath the left, grab the right knee, pull up to your chest and over to your right shoulder. Up a little more, over a little more. And now we should have that big, delicious stretch on the outside of the left hip. You are welcome to stay with that. Or you can bring your arms into a T. Your book is over there for you to land on for a twist. Or if you don't need it, you can slide it out of the way. Come on back through center. Let's put both feet on the ground. Grab that book, and that's going to tuck behind your right leg this time. And we pull it in. We're trying to get the rib and the thigh to touch. The book really helps you get there. Bring it over to your shoulder. In and over, in and over. Good. And then we're going to flip it, and we're still pushing it down, but now we're also flexing through that heel. And we'll get some movement. And then the book can just go off to the left side. Straighten that leg out. Bend your elbows, lift yourself up, walk up, and then grab your big toe with your left hand. Feel free to manipulate a little bit, that would feel good. And then we'll let go, we'll lift higher, We'll grab hold again and come down with it this time. Holding on, and then we're gonna straighten and lower both legs at the same time. And see how that feels. Then right ankle is gonna cross over left, bend that left knee. Thread your needle, left leg up and move through that ankle again. And then we'll bend that knee, hug everything closer, deepen that stretch, play with a little side to side or pulling in more, totally up to you. And then we'll crisscross that right leg all the way over, grabbing that left knee, pull in and over towards the left, pull up to the chest and over to the left. Big stretch on that right hip, that might be enough. Or you can let those knees drop over and land on your book. Or if you don't need that, slide your book out of the way and let them land on the ground. When we're coming to back up through center, however you want to get there, you're going to come up onto your hands and knees. And let's undulate that cow and cat. Beautiful. Hands right underneath you. Tuck your toes. Press through one heel. Press through the other. Begin to walk things closer together. And then bend over. Hands on your thighs. Cat and cow. And curtsies. Thank you.